Yeah, needless to say, I'm pleased with the outcome of the game. I'm pleased with our play. It certainly in segments. Are there some things that I'm not pleased with? Absolutely, guys. And y'all know me. I'll try to be positive until midnight, and then at midnight I'll get real negative. But I do think it's so important for kids to enjoy wins, and there were some good things that happened tonight. The first thing that jumps off the page to me is 18 offensive rebounds. You know, that's important to our team. I thought we set a tone there early. I don't like that they got 11, but they're top 25 in the country in offensive rebounding efficiency coming into tonight. So I don't like that they got 11, but to look down and go 45 to 30 on the boards tonight against a team that I really respect and a team I respect rebounding quite a bit, that was good. We had a lot of trouble last year with their match zone, and I thought we did a better job tonight of just moving the ball, being simple, being aggressive, and found some really good shots, and so I was pleased with that. But the offensive board, I think, started. Defensively, I didn't think we were good to start the game, but then we kind of picked it up a little bit, and we made that run at the end of the half. I thought it was a combination of just getting a little more active defensively, and then that fueled our running game. We finally put defense and running together, and you put a big run to finish the half, and I thought that was important for us. I could go down the guys, but, Odie getting the 2 early fouls right now with our depth in the front court, that's very difficult for our team. So normally I'd play a guy a little bit more with 2, especially a guy like Odie that is an upperclassman and I trust. But, gosh, if we got Vic or Odie fouling out or in foul trouble in the second half, we're in trouble because now there's nobody else behind them. Sage is out right now with an injury. So I thought that put a lot of pressure on Vic, and I thought he was excellent there in the first half, like playing those extended minutes. 30 is more than I want to play him, and more than I think he wants to. He might not agree with that, but I think deep down he'd like to be in that 25, 26 range. So that kind of made the game a little funky. Dan Skillings, you look at the line, and it's pretty dang good, isn't it? 8 for 12, 3 for 5, 6 for 8, 6 offensive rebounds, 9 total rebounds, 25 points, only 1 turnover. So 2 block shots. That's a pretty dang good line, and I don't even think he's scratching the surface. I can think of 10 or 12 plays I'm pissed at him. And I mean that as the greatest compliment to him as a player. I just think he's got so much good basketball ahead of him. But it was nice to see him break out and do some nice things, because we've seen him do some really nice things in the summer and the fall, so that doesn't surprise us. Day I thought really fueled our run. And then John Newman is just, heart and soul type stuff, right? I think everybody that watches us play knows he's kind of the heart and soul of this team and sets a tone. So there's some good stuff there. That's a good basketball team. Darren is a terrific coach, does a terrific job. I think they're picked to win their league, and they'll compete to win their league, so it's a good win for us.
Any magic words there in that late timeout in the first half, or is that something you sense coming, a run like that?
No, Scott, if I had magic words, I'd have used them before then. I've been here 2 years. I'd have used them a long time ago. I don't have magic, but I just thought we picked up our defensive intensity and then made some really nice plays running the floor.
How much does having Day and Jizzle change who you are against a zone like that, the ability to break down a defense and get in the lane and make it collapse?
Yeah, I think Day first, he can really get into tight spaces, and uncharacteristically tonight, he kind of turned a couple over. 2 early, 1 in the second half on the first possession, and that's not even like him. But, yes, getting into tight spaces against any defense is really valuable, and he does that. Jizzle does it in a more powerful way, and I think people that are watching him know this. He's a freshman, so he'll go in there sometimes and make the greatest play, and then sometimes he goes in there and you go, what the heck? It's that's part of the development process for a young player. But watch, it'll just keep coming for Jizzle. It'll just keep getting better. Maybe not one day at a time type thing, but if you look at where he is in January compared to where it'll be night and day, because the gifts are there and his ability to make the right decision and finish is there. So, yeah, we have 2 guards that can really get into the paint and make a play, and that'll be important for us against any defense. And then I thought Dan did a nice job of getting into the paint. not just to score, but he made a couple really nice plays, and that's important. Like, we got to have guys that can get in seams. Even Vic against the double team tonight, I mean, he looked like Euro stepping to throw the ball out. I mean, but he handled the double well. He handled a tight space well. So guys getting into tight spaces and making the right play is important.
Dan has mentioned in the preseason that you really stress his defense and rebounding during the offseason. How gratifying is it to see him play as well as he is on the boards? I think he's averaging around eight rebounds a game through the first 4.
Yeah, he's averaging 8. I want him to average 15. I mean, when the first time I went and watched Dan Skillings, I'll never forget it. I was in Atlanta at a Under Armour, summer AAU tournament, and I'll never forget it. On the first 3 possessions, he got 3 rebounds. He got an offensive rebound put back. He went down, got the defensive rebound, and then his team shot it, and he got another offensive rebound put out, and I just perked up. I said, holy heck, who's this guy? Can he do anything else? Because I love the way he rebounds. And then he made a 3-pointer 4 or 5 minutes later, and that's how the recruitment of him started. I'm telling you that because he's always been able to rebound the ball. Like, he has the instincts and the gifts. It's just about consistently doing it every possession. If he does that, he's going to have even better rebounding numbers than 8 a game.
Hey, Coach. Over here. Hi. Your second 4-0 start in 3 years being here. Just you talk a little bit about that and what that sort of means for you and for this program.
0 to me. I 0. I mean, that's not where my head's at. Not worried about that. One day at a time. Let's get better. Let's keep growing. To enjoy win. I mean, I think the one thing I've tried to do, because I can be a pain in the butt, we have a good moment because these kids work so hard. Let's enjoy it for at least a couple hours. So right now it's about let these guys enjoy it. We'll probably enjoy it as a coaching staff for about another 30 minutes, and then it's get to work and let these kids enjoy it with their families, and then it'll be about getting better tomorrow. I don't get into all that junk. I think what you want to do is look up over a long period of time and go, man, we've really built something, and we have a really positive culture, and we've accomplished things, but game to game, I don't get into that crap.
You held them to only 4 3-pointers on the day. I think they went 4 for 20. Was that a big emphasis coming in today?
Always a big emphasis for us is to guard the 3-point line. Yeah, look at defensive numbers, not just here at Cincinnati, but the teams we've coached over a long period of time. We pride ourselves on that. I think we got to continue to do it better, but we did a nice job tonight to only let them get 4. And I thought John kind of gave in there and gave Warwick a clean look on the last one and give him credit for knocking it down.
7 assists for Seamas. You've talked about him being a facilitator. His offense scoring hasn't been there, but he seems like he makes you a much more efficient offense when he's on the floor.
Guys, he's a great offensive player, and he's still finding his way here, But against the match zone, which is, like I told the guys, actually, everybody, I'm trying to always stay in tune with pop culture. But I told the guys it's like a match zone is like the show Scary Things, like the in-between. It's not really a man. It's not really a zone. It's like something in between, right? So I was proud of myself. I don't even barely watch Scary Thing or Stranger Things or whatever it is, but Stranger Things. So, but I think against any kind of zone defense or any type of switching defense, like Seamas's ability to pass over the top, right? And then he has an unbelievable ability to shoot. So I know he's not really found that yet this year. I watch him every day. 0 concerns there. He's a dangerous guy against a defense like a match zone. So, yeah, extremely valuable. And 7 assists, 0 turnovers. That's a pretty good line for a guy that you want to put in a lot of action this year.
Wes, I know you've stressed finishing games and maybe a couple of times this year. You had a very good first half and maybe not so much offensively in the second half. Tonight, 45-45. What does that mean to you in terms of finishing off a game?
Yeah, I actually said that to the guys in the locker room, that I was proud of them for finishing. That over the course of the last 2 years, sometimes we've gotten a lead and we kind of relax, which I do believe is normal. We're just not trying to be normal. It's normal human behavior when things are going well to put your foot off the gas, but we're just not trying to be normal. And so it was good tonight to see that we had success, but I thought we kept playing the right way. And so I thought that was a positive thing. We got to continue to do that.
Is that maybe a reason a lot of the starters played to the very end of the game? Was that part of it or no?
I think the main reason is this respect for how good Northern Kentucky is. You know, I mean, and how good Sam Vincent and Marquez Warwick are. I mean, all of a sudden, that thing could go from 20 to 10 quick, right? So I had a lot of respect for him. If we were up 30, I probably just subbed a little earlier. But I just felt like as long as the game's in reach and the way they run the floor, that was respect for how good they are.
CJ, kind of a off night today compared to his first 3 games. What are you seeing from him just in terms of his comfort level and just getting adapted here?
He just impacts winning, does the right thing. He impacts offense. Like, you look at the numbers, and he's 1 for 6. I thought both of those floaters, you should have made them. I think he'd say the same thing. But he's 1 for 6. But the impact he has on a possession, because you got to be so aware of him at all times, because you can't leave him open, right? The impact he has on the defense is so significant. So his line might not look great, but his impact on the game is significant. And then defensively, as a coach, very few times to this point have I ever gone into a timeout and gone, what the heck is CJ doing? He made an error. He doesn't make mistakes. Right? He's in the right place. He's solid. He's reliable. And then offensively, same thing. He's in the right places. So even when his line's not good, his impact on the game is significant.
Second double-double for Vic in 2 games. How is he embracing that role as the guy that needs to be inside rebounding with Aziz and Jamil out right now?
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to ask about 14 rebounds. That's pretty good. And it's kind of what I said about Dan. I mean, he has 14 rebounds, and I'm thinking about the 6 times that I'm pissed at him for not going to the board or not boxing out. And that's a compliment. Like, he's terrifically gifted as a rebounder. So I thought after those first 2 games he wasn't doing enough around the basket. It was nice to see that tonight. And, again, 14 rebounds is good, and I'm still not pleased because I thought there were some possessions he could have gone. Like, he made the nice play, kind of penetrating their defense and kicked it out for a 3, and he's running back celebrating before the shot goes in. Like, I want him to go get the ball. Like, I want him to – as a great rebounder, you got to assume that every shot's going to be missed. So I like that he was celebrating for his teammate, but I want him to go get the ball. So 14's really good. 14 and 14's really good. And a compliment to him is I think there's a lot more in the tank there.
45-30 on rebounds, and Odie's in foul trouble, and Josh was in foul trouble. It's got to be tough to not fantasize what it would be like with those other 2 guys sitting there.
Yeah.
And you anticipate anything coming.
Yeah, it's why everything is just so bittersweet right now. Like, like I'll say it here in a second. I'm in there, writing on the board while the guys are out warming up, and Aziz was getting by his locker getting ready, and Bob Mangine, our trainer, walks in. Okay, and I mean, I'm not trying to get any sympathy here, but I told Bob I ain't been sleeping real well. So, and Bob Mangine, who is the greatest trainer, he cares more about everybody's well-being than any human being I've ever been around. I mean, I don't know what we do without him. Like, he takes care of all of us. So he walks in and goes, Coach, how'd you sleep last night? And I went, man, I didn't sleep real well. And Aziz heard it. And he goes, Coach, struggling to sleep? I said, just recently. I said, I'm angry about your situation. It keeps me up at night. And he said, Coach, I hadn't slept since game started. He said, I wake up every night and I can't go back to sleep. And it's like, it just that kills me. And it's good that you said it, because I got a couple things to talk about. One, Jamil Reynolds has still not received. We have still not heard back from the NCAA about his waiver, his appeal. We submitted his waiver in August. We submitted his appeal in October. I think it was the last week of October. We're 4 games in, 2 weeks in, and he hasn't heard. So we call the NCAA. I don't have a contact. I do not know who is the NCAA. They don't talk to me. I have no ability to talk to them. But our compliance calls the NCAA, and they said, oh, yeah, we don't think we'll be able to get to that waiver until December. And these are kids' lives. So the NCAA's mission statement, provide a world-class athletics and academic experience for student athletes that fosters lifelong well-being. I wish they'd apply that mission to our two kids. I'll hold my tongue, but it's not right. It's not right. So it's I wish we'd do the right thing here. I don't know what we're holding them accountable for. We've taken away one of the most precious, not the most precious thing in their life, their family, their faith, their education. Like, there's things that are more precious than basketball, but you're taking away one of the most important things, their identity. You're taking it away from them. You're punishing them. And I don't know why. I don't know what purpose that's serving. I don't understand. They've made no mistakes. All they've done is follow a piece of paper that was released last year that said 7 standards to meet this waiver. They meet them. They consulted with people that said they meet them that are supposed experts. And here we are. So every time I get a chance, I'm not going away. It's not right. I will continue to stand up for our kids. I'm not going away. I'll talk about it till I'm blue in the face. But fosters lifelong well-being. That is not happening for these two guys. Again, I am not sitting here saying we should let kids do whatever they want to do. If we make mistakes as adults, we should be held accountable. If kids make mistakes, hold them accountable. They haven't done anything wrong. And we're holding them accountable to the highest degree. I don't understand it. And it's affecting our team as well. So, anybody got anything else? Okay, thank you.
Sarah, close that door over there. Welcome to our post-game press conference. We've got student athletes Day Thomas and Daniel Skillings Jr. Questions for the student athletes?
Dan, career high 25. You got to a point where it just felt like you had it going early?
Playing defense, like on the defense end, we get to be going and getting offensive rebounds because we know that they're really tough team and they're really good at that, and they play defense and they rebound. So I knew if we played defense and rebounded harder, we'll get away with it and make me get going too.
Day, the last 2 for 7 of the first half, you guys going a 12-2 run, kind of take hold of the game. What did you see offensively that changed going into the end of the first half that you guys carried over into the second?
I just felt like we needed to pick up the energy a little bit more, play hard on offense, play hard on defense, just sharing the ball, getting in ball screen, making plays for my team.
Dan, you guys out-rebounded them 45-30 today. What were you guys doing against that matchup zone that allowed you to get to the boards?
We just kept it simple. We just pump fake, kept it simple. We weren't trying to do too much in the zone. And whenever we seen somebody with a good shot, we'll hit them, and then we'll all crash the boards because we know we get an open shot, we're going to shoot it. So all 4 crash to the board and box out and hit a guy and try to get the rebound as best as we can.
Chad.
How much did it help having played against that zone last year and seeing what it did to you in that second half of the game at NKU? Were the guys that returned able to kind of let everybody, the new guys, know, like, hey, got to attack it, got to get to the rim, got to be aggressive?
Yeah, they play a really interesting zone, and they're a good defensive team, and they're smart players. They don't do too much, but they play it really well. And last year, just watching it, me, John Newman, and guys over here last year, watching the zone and knowing how they play the zone, we were just piggybacking off of that experience last year and letting the newcomers and the new guys know about it and play off of it. And we practiced it in practice too, leading up to this game.
Mike and Scott.
Dan, Wes has stressed a lot this year about playing 2 halves together, not having any lulls. You guys had 45 points in each half. I'm curious what that says about your growth as a team, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
I mean, just sticking with it, man. Just however we played in the first half, just come out the second half the same way and go strong the same way, and don't give up because we're up 10, we're up 12. Just like every 4-minute media timeout, every 4 minutes, just win that 4. That was our mindset throughout the whole game.
For those of you that were around last year, what did this mean, having two solid halves after arguably the worst half of basketball in some time?
It was a step together for this team because sometimes we'll start strong and then come out the second half and lay back a little bit, but it's a big step for our team, and we just got to keep it there and take more steps as the season goes on.
You had a week off between games. Wes seemed like he was pretty intense in practice this week. Did that kind of rub off on you guys, that you get the message that, you know, he wanted this one a little bit?
Oh yeah, most def. He pushed us and he pushed us hard in practice. Made us, you know, keeping us playing hard. You know, just stand on us by doing our job early on the court. That's it.
Vincent and Warwick were two guys that really got going against GC last year. What did you guys do differently defensively this year to kind of limit them until the end of the game?
I'm sure they're really good players, man. They play the games smart, they play aggressive, and they play together. This year we just played to their strengths, like just try to stop their strengths and get them slowed down more, like try to slow them down instead of like speeding up. And we also not try to get them in a groove, like let them get off on us. But yeah, that was really it. That's how we got together as a team.
How different is it this year? Last year it felt like Dave and Landers really needed to both be good. It feels like this is a team that, you know, John had a little hot stretch there, and Seamas had a little hot stretch, and Vic and Day were playing. Does it a different feel that you feel like, you know, there's a bunch of guys on any given night that can really step up and pop?
Yeah, man. We all just play together for real, and there's a lot of guys on this team that can get double-doubles and score the basketball and play smart and make the right play. And any guy on this team can make the right play and go off and have a night.
Day-Day, you've kind of turned into an offensive threat, not just a facilitator like some point guards. How much trust has Coach Miller put into you to lead his offense, and how much has that coaching style that he's taken with you kind of led to this impact performance?
I feel like Coach I'm the point guard, one of the point guards on the team. So being a point guard, I got to do my job, be a lead on the court, and, you know, make plays. And when it's my time to score on offense, I can score the ball.
Scott.
How many seconds are you allowed to hang on the rim? Because I'm not sure.
I have no clue, but I don't think that's why they took me. I slapped the backboard, and it's a habit I got to break. It's the wrong play to make during that moment, but I won't do it again.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.